All right. How's everyone out there in YouTube world doing? So, as part of our professional series of interviews that we do, we have another wonderful lender, uh, Debra Griffin, and she's wonderful at what she does. And I'll let her introduce herself and let you know what company she works for and what she does.
Thank you, Derek. I'm Debbie Griffin. I'm with Guild Mortgage. Guild is a big company. They've been around 63 years.
Wow.
They've got tons of products, tons and tons.
Hmm.
I'm sure we'll get into that. Um, but I've been in the business 28 years.
Okay.
How I got in the business is interesting because I was adopting my daughter
Oh,
and building my second home at the
oh wow.
time.
Wow.
Yeah. So the lady who owned the company kept saying to me, "You'd be really good at this," and I just kind of blew it off. I said, "Oh, well, that's nice, thank you." And then she kept saying it, and then as I finished building my home, adopted my daughter, I realized very quickly I was managing country clubs at the time that I could not be a single parent
Hmm.
and be the kind of parent that I had hoped to be. And, I needed some flexibility, excuse me, and some freedom. And then I called her back. I said, "What do I have to do to be a lender? What all is involved and what does it entail?" Next thing I know, I'm sitting in a class. That was 28 years ago, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow. Wow. That's a great story, great entry story. So it wasn't anything that like you kind of thought about. Hey, I want to be a lender all my life. It was kind of something that was thrown your way, and you took the reins and ran with
It really, like, I consider it a God thing. Like, he
it.
opened that door. Thank goodness I walked through it because I absolutely love what I do. I really do.
Nice, nice. Okay. All right. So, what is your what would you say your main goal as a lender? Obviously buyers, maybe sellers, things like that. What is like your
Yep.
main?
Yep. My main goal is to make every loan go perfect.
Okay.
Now, perfect in the lending world is a big statement, but I really try to take buyers step by step so they know what's coming, what to expect, so they're prepared. And it's just fulfilling. If I'm working with first time home buyers, I love it. If I'm working with investors buying their fifth home, I just love the thrill of getting the loan done and them leaving happy and growing wealth. It's all about personal wealth.
Okay.
And I think the statistic says, Derek, that by the time most people retire, 84% of their wealth is in their home
Oh wow. Wow.
because our homes in Florida have appreciated, have um, you know, just grown and grown here in Florida. So that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And being able to get people out of renting and throwing that money away and growing personal wealth, that's a game changer. That changes people's lives. And I am very, very appreciative to be able to do this for a living.
Mm. Wow. 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 So you don't mind walking your clients through the process, step by step,
No.
things like that.
I don't care if it is their fifth home.
Okay.
I still take them step by step because the process has changed a
Ah,
lot in 28 years.
okay.
I've seen the process change, and lending goes through trends where they will, at one point, they'll demand one group of proof on paperwork and requirements, then something else will be the hot button.
Hmm. Wow.
So if you just did a loan even 5 years ago, the process can be somewhat different.
Okay.
And, really and truly, unless you do this, like you, Derek, for a living, you don't know what's coming. The market's always changing. The We've seen rates go up and down. We've seen trends go in and out.
Yeah.
Like, people really expect us to educate them and to know,
Hmm.
so that we don't make a misstep, or, something that couldn't be prevented, because that's where loans get hard. That's where the real estate process really gets hard for people.
Hmm.
So my goal is up front to fully qualify them.
Okay.
When I qualify them, I ask for all the paperwork to go into underwriting.
Hmm. Okay.
And that way I qualify them. I can provide a letter for them to get out and look.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm putting them in underwriting without a house,
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
so that they are underwritten approved, which a number one helps the negotiation process, as I'm sure you know,
Oh
a
yeah.
great deal, especially in this market, and it speeds up closing. And
Hmm.
we got to do it anyway. Why wouldn't I do it up front? And that's how we know they're fully approved. We can move forward quickly, keep everybody happy, the seller, them, and just take care of business for them.
Wow. That sounds like something that a lot of a lot of people need done. They need that
Yes,
stuff done,
yes.
and they need obviously someone who knows what they're doing. They're not making mistakes, missteps, and prolonging that closing process. So
Right. That's where it gets painful. And my goal is to make it as painless as possible.
got it, got it, got it. Now I know you had just really quick. You had touched on things are always changing. So are you always keeping up with newer? What I guess I don't know if you would call it new information, new education, as far as when it comes to.
Yep. And like with Guild, they have so many products. I
Yeah.
literally have on my to-do list daily, I've got trainings programmed in.
Oh wow.
I schedule them in like every day. And as well as, of course, continuing ed that's required and all of that kind of stuff. And I feel as a lender, that is just part of my job.
Job. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Learning and knowing, knowing everything there
Yep,
is to know. That way, yeah.
yep, yep.
Now, I can only assume. With that being said, I can only assume. Are there times where you may have to refer to maybe one of your colleagues or something like that, or you pretty much got
There will be, I am completely unafraid of that. I often ask an underwriter, I will tell somewhere, I believe this what the underwriter will want,
okay.
but let me double check,
Mm,
because everyone's situation is different.
got it.
And like at Guild, I'm so fortunate that we have so many avenues.
Mm,
We have a training help desk. We have underwriter help desk. We have product help desk.
mm,
Besides my go-to underwriters and my managers, and perhaps a colleague that, hey, have you done this program? How did it go?
wow.
What can we expect? Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So I guess with so I guess is that what makes your company different from others? Is the programs that they offer, or is it that you know?
It is the programs because I've worked, because you can imagine in 28 years, I've worked for some different companies and
Yeah.
I've worked for some big companies. Guild is, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe they're the eighth largest lender in the nation.
Oh wow.
They're in 49 states.
Hmm.
They have over 350 retail branches.
Oh,
So, you know, yeah, we're here to make a statement and we've made it. They've been around for 63 years. Um, Besides the products,
hmm.
they do extra things in some of these products that just help people. You know, some of the products are their own products, as well as um, all the conventional, all the FHA, VA, USDA, down payment assistance. We've got a fabulous zero down FHA style program
Oh, okay.
that has a second with it that'll pay the down payment, or we can take a 3.5% second or a 5% second that
Hmm.
helps pay for the closing cost. What's neat about this program is there are no income limitations, which practically all the down payment assistance programs have.
Okay.
They have income limits, geographic limits. This program has none of that.
Wow. Wow.
So I really like, it's a step above the down payment assistant programs, in my opinion. It's
Huh.
giving as much money as they, a lot of them do, without all the restrictions. So I'm kind of favoring that one right now.
Right.
Now, just so you and your audience knows, Hometown Hero is being funded again July 1.
Ah. Okay.
Just
Nice.
FYI, is
Okay.
so that'll be back. Um, Guild has
Hmm.
new construction loans.
Nice.
And if you're working with any builders, Derek, we have some builder programs that really help the builder, that
Really?
helps
Wow.
them help the client. So just keep that in mind. We'll talk about that further.
You definitely.
They've done things like with the new construction, say the builder isn't offering a pool package or you really want solar panels, they are incorporating that in the construction loan and
Hmm.
holding it in escrow. So the loan, can close when the house is done,
Yep.
but then the pool company can come in and put in that pool and you have one payment. You don't have a pool company payment. And so, they've done things like that. So that's just smart. They have their own bridge loan. If you're selling your home, but you need to move beforehand,
Okay.
or you want to not to lose a certain home, they
Yeah.
have a bridge loan that we can do so that
Really?
you can get into that new home while the other home is being sold.
Wow.
Well, they
That's
have 100%. Yes, that's huge. They have 100% doctor program.
hmm.
Doctors love that program. And we have a medical program. HELOCs are big in the marketplace right now.
Yes.
Of course, we have QM options, the DSCR, which is investor program that you can buy an investment home
Okay.
without qualifying with your income. And
Hmm.
for investors, that's huge.
Huge.
If they
Right.
have three homes already, they've maybe written off all that income. So it gets hard. So this program is based on the rental income of the property, and
Oh,
that's what they qualify for.
wow.
And I've had that program work really well and help some
Mm,
investors.
mm,
Um, for national, I have the DSCR for foreign nationals
yeah,
and a regular foreign national, fully documented. Um, bank statements, 1099s, I-10 loans. We have what's really big in the market right now is the temporary buy down.
okay.
And we have all of them. We have the 321, the 21, the 11, the 10. And that's where a seller will pay for this buy down.
Okay.
For example, on the 321, let's say the rate is at 7%. Well, they start out their first year at 4.5. The next year it goes to 5.5, then 6.5, and on the fourth year it is fully, the fourth year through the 30th year is the full rate of 7.5.
Okay.
Well, that's helping people get in.
Mhm,
Most people are on track to make more money going forward. So it really is helping some people.
mhm. Nice.
And, it helps the sellers too, I find, because um, instead of having to reduce their house, which is what we see sometimes, usually they're getting closer to a full boat offer by offering this buy down. It helps the buyer and the seller, and it's really a win-win.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
And I could go on all night
Yeah, yeah, I know.
on these programs, but I know we're limited on time here.
I know. Well, what? Because that was funny. Because that was one of my questions was going to be. I was going to ask you if your company offered any specials, deals, or offers. But it seems like you guys have a plethora of
Yes.
options for
Yeah.
any kind of bike.
Derek, we've known each other for a while, but I'm like a kid in a candy shop right now with all these programs. I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. That's going to have to be another show where you break down,
Yep.
exactly what you guys have, and that way too, people can get more of an understanding,
Yes,
of the
definitely.
program. But again, that'll be another show. so, so do you or your company offer? Are you licensed in any other states or just Florida?
Am being born and raised here in Florida. My grandkids are sixth generation, so
Wow.
like I'm not going anywhere. So I'm licensed only in Florida,
Okay.
but again, Guild is in 49 states.
Yeah.
So if you need help in another state, I can definitely hook you up.
Okay. Oh, so you would refer
Yes,
to someone
yes,
else? Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
Now, would you once you pass that person on, are you still dealing with that person, or you kind of pass them on and you kind of leave?
Well, I'm kind of like your loan officer for life. Like if I have clients that I've closed years ago, we
Mm,
still talk.
nice.
I will continue to check on you
Okay.
if you want to buy in another state, just to make sure everything's fine. They can still, and I've had this happen where they come to me and they say, now he said this, what does it mean? And I
Mm,
explain it. And so it is actually the other loan officer's deal, but I'm always here, and I will not drop anyone. I will help them through it, definitely.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing, especially if you feel like someone's helping you and then you get passed on to someone else and then that person seems like
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
as in that like the first person. So That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful. So, just really quick, if you can give us like a quick synopsis of the buying process for any, new buyers, just, what do they need to do? What's their first step?
The first step is I have a in-depth conversation over the phone. That's how we set up the loan and the loan process successfully,
Mm,
because I know where the bumps might be
okay,
and can advise them, we need to do this and this. Um, and then I send them application or take the application over the phone. But I also tell them I'm going to send you a list of paperwork. Once completed with the app, please add this paperwork in.
okay,
Then I get it back, review it, make sure all the numbers jive, confirm where you qualify.
okay.
I then would give you, the realtor, a pre-approval letter to go out and shop. And as I said before, then I put them in underwriting to get them fully underwritten.
Okay.
Usually only takes a day or two. And then you have the ability to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are underwritten, approved. All we got to do is approve the house.
Wow.
And, I've actually had some loans went out the bid with that.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then we get the contract. Um, and again, I tell them the next step, as soon as I get the contract, the disclosures will go out.
Mm,
We, the lender, cannot by law go forward without the disclosure sign. That's by law, making the client, the buyers, aware of certain things, like they have a right to receive their appraisal, an estimate on closing costs,
mm,
etc.
okay.
So they signed the disclosures. Then I ordered the appraisal.
Mm,
Now, I always do this with their permission, and I prefer to do it after we have had the home inspection done. I know,
okay.
Derek, you are always suggesting your clients get a home inspection so that they know what kind of shape the home is in, and if they can anticipate needing a new microwave down the line, or the hot water heater is working, and that kind of thing. So I like to wait, if we can get it done quickly, the home inspection, get that done, because I don't want to spend their appraisal money if the
Mm,
home, there's something that's not to their liking and they're not going to go forward. There's no sense in spending that additional money. But
mm,
as soon as you and the buyers tell me, hey, this home's in great shape, we love it, we're going forward, boom, I order the appraisal.
mm,
Um, the processors ordering title work.
okay.
If there's, if it's a VA and it needs a pest or septic or well inspection, all those things are getting ordered up front, while the processor is asking for any documents the underwriter may have come back for. So we got all balls in the air and keep them juggling, get
Mm,
all that stuff done up front.
okay.
That way we know if there's anything, if title comes back with something, if the appraisal comes back different than what we hope. We know all that early in the process.
Ah, okay.
And so we are working on that while the buyers are working on whatever conditions, whatever documents are needed. I also, at the time of getting the contract, I get an insurance quote for the buyers.
Ah,
Now, as I always tell them, it is completely their choice of who they use. But usually my person that I use personally they're like real affordable and real knowledgeable.
Mm.
9 out of 10, they go with the agent that I send them, but it is not at all a mandatory. So again, it's one of those things. Let's get it out of the way up front. Let's know what insurance is. Let's know if you're in a flood zone, everything.
Okay.
So then by the time we get to closing, everything's signed off on, we've taken care of everything, and it's nice and smooth as it should be.
Nice.
That's the goal.
Nice. Okay, it seems pretty cut and dry, and I'm sure. And I'm going to throw this out there. And you can confirm, we don't want our buyers applying for any credit, making big purchases,
Oh, please.
or anything like that.
Bless you. Yes. Before you even, as you're getting ready for a loan, do not apply for credit. Do not let anything be opened. Don't let your credit be pulled, and do not close any credit, because closing credit as well as opening credit dings your score. Now, something I do, Derek, and a lot of people do not know that. What I do when I pre-qualify them, I pull a soft pull. So I am not dinging their score. I do not pull a hard credit check until they get a contract, because at that point I'm required to. But until then, I'm pulling a soft pull. A lot of people are very smart, and they realize today that don't let people pull your credit. That lowers your credit score. Wow. So I do not, that soft pull does not ding your score. And a lot of people really like and appreciate that.
Got it. So, just out of my curiosity, would a seller need your services for anything? Or just
the seller, I do have a couple things for the seller. As the buy downs we've talked about, it helps the seller usually get a good offer as well as the buyer. I have a lock and shop, like the buyer can lock the loan and go shopping for the house. I also have a seller lock where they lock the home and sell it. They're actually locking in the rate for the potential buyer.
Really? Wow.
So we have a couple things like that that definitely help. And let's face it, the number one thing I can do for a seller is assure them that their buyers are qualified. And when I get them underwritten up front, I can say with complete faith, hey, the buyer's qualified. Yeah, let's go. Can we move up closing is usually my next question to them.
Wow. And that's always a good thing. Moving up that closing, always a good thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, we're running out of a little time here, just really quick. So, back to you and your 28 years of experience. You have any awards, accolades, or anything like that? Certificates?
Yes, of course I do. And I got them. I cleared them off my desk and my cabinet. They're in a bag over here. I haven't put them away yet.
Yeah, that many,
but,
huh? Okay.
No, well, they add up, and they're in a drawer out in the garage,
Oh, wow.
And really and truly, and I mean this honestly, it's nice to get the awards, but where my sense of accomplishment is seeing that first time home buyer get the keys and changing their life, seeing someone who never thought of investing in real estate as an investment take that step and start growing wealth. So they're 84% by the time they retire is even bigger. Like that's what I count as my accomplishment.
Got it. Nice. That's nice. Nice. So, so for all those looking for a lender, why you? Why Debbie Griffin?
Well, as I've said, products, I've got them. Experience, I've learned a few things in 28 years, but I diligently continue every week
Yeah.
learning the programs, learning. I mean, I'm a total mortgage geek. I don't know what else to say, what else
That's
to
what you
call
do.
myself. I I get into the guidelines and finding little ways that borrowers can do things and learning what not to, let them do that would hinder them from buying and stuff like that. So, like, if you want a mortgage geek, I guess I'm it.
Got it. Okay, okay. All right. Well, like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you're busy and everything, but we definitely have to schedule another time so you can break down the programs your company has, and 'cause I'm sure the audience would love to know exactly what your company offers and how you can, help, and how you can help and who you can help. So, but I thank you so
Yep.
much, for joining us. And again, we got Debbie Griffin of Guild Mortgage, correct?
Guild Mortgage,
Guild
yes.
Mortgage. All right. Well, want to say bye to the people, Debbie, and we'll call it a day.
Yes, well, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you giving us your time, and I hope to speak to you soon.
All right. All right. And guys, I also will have her information in the description. So you need a lender, you know who to call. All right. See you later, guys.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.